Assalamualaikum and good morning, professors, doctors, ladies and gentlemen. So we're about to begin. Okay, it's my pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. We appreciate that you're taking your time off from your busy schedules to join us today in another PEMULA talk series with the topic, The Secret on How to Think Like an Entrepreneur. So as we know, I would like to inform that the QR code for the attendance will be displayed at the end of this talk, and kindly to have all of you to fill up our evaluation form, which the link will be shared later. So as you're all aware that Innovasi at UKM as the main center that responsible for PEMULA at UKM program, where through this PEMULA at UKM, we give the opportunity to UKM employees and students to establish a technology-based startup companies. So for today's topic, we would like to highlight to all of you what's the skills, tips required to be an entrepreneur. Be it to be a creative thinker, time management, networking, or communication needed. Together will be discussed with the panel and moderator for today's talk. So without much further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Shazwan, our head for technology transfer in Innovasi, as our moderator today, and to introduce the speaker, Mr. Paresh Subramaniyam. Okay, Shazwan, over to you.
How to think like an entrepreneur. Starting new every day is at the core of entrepreneur mindset, and the rest from visions to a strategy grows from there. Hear how to adopt this mindset and stay ahead of the competitions. Together with us is Paresh Subramaniyam. Paresh Subramaniyam is the wellness entrepreneur, speaker, physiotherapist, and HRDF certified trainer with over 10 years of experience in health, wellness, and fitness industry. Being passionate about the education of wellness to Malaysians, especially in the workplace setting, he has conducted many workshops for various organizations, from MSCs, GLCs, to SMEs. He then founded Fix Escape in 2016, now known as Engage Life, a one-stop solution for wellness, of which programs and workshops have been now successfully adopted by various organizations, from MNCs, GLCs, to SMEs, including Shell Malaysia, British American Tobacco, Prudential Takaful, Sun Life Malaysia, Evonik, KWAP, Sanofi, and many more. His biggest achievement is transforming his business, Engage Life, to a digital startup in the health tech industry. As a former general manager of Celebrity Fitness in 2014, Paresh has an extensive experience in coaching, sales and marketing, and operations. He single-handedly developed, led, and managed the Celebrity Fitness New Central team, Celebrity Fitness' most profitable club in Malaysia. He is also an international Muay Thai coach certified by the Ministry of Education Thailand, a qualified nutrition specialist, and a certified for leveraging a relationship between well-being and productivity. Without further ado, I would like to invite our distinguished speaker today, Mr. Paresh Subramaniyam. Please, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Shazwan, for the lovely introduction. And thank you to all of you guys here. You can be anywhere in the world, and you guys are here with me today. So a big kudos to all of you guys. And first of all, I'd like to thank the UKM team for inviting me for this PEMULA talk series. And I hope that, my experience and knowledge will be some sort of a value to you guys. And hopefully you can take something home today and apply it into your daily life. So I will quickly share my slides, and then we will jump into the presentations for today. If you guys have any questions along the way, do drop it down in the chat box. Let me know. I think Shazwan will be happy to kind of, take on some questions along the way. And also we can have a Q&A at the end as well. So today's topic is about how to think like an entrepreneur. I think when I saw this topic, I told myself, hey, you know what? There's so many ways or so many things that I can do for this. And, it's mind-blowing that how to think like an entrepreneur is a topic today, right? So I think for us to start off, like how to think like an entrepreneur first is for us to kind of look at entrepreneurship itself, what it is about, and throughout entrepreneurship journeys, what people have done. Sometimes I think the success or the blueprint to success is always there. It's been always there. It's all about us finding it and adapting it and making it personalized towards us. So a bit of my background, I think Shazwan covered quite extensively in terms of my background, but I still first started off my first business when I was 12 years old, actually. So I first started off as selling, pao, like kaya pao, kacang pao. So I'm from actually Alustar, Kedah. My parents are all still in Alustar, Kedah. So I started off this business when I was 12 years old, grew it from one shop to, 2 shops. Little did I know that I was doing entrepreneurship at that time. That time nak survive saja lah, buat untuk pocket money, survival, because I'm also coming from a very poor family. So we always work hard lah and then think of ways or ideas. I'm sure some of you guys here also goreng pisang lah, burger lah. I'm sure you guys have your own journey as well. But I started at 12. And then in 2010, when I was studying as a physiotherapy, I started off PT or personal training to you. That time we mainly focused on teaching autism kids to play sports, to exercise, and to kind of help them to build the soft skills and also get them to mobilize and kind of move around a bit, So we started that, and we were fortunate enough that time to work with University of Malaya to train the autistic kids over there. So in 2010, I actually founded PT to You. And in 2014 and 16, once I graduated, I decided to join Celebrity Fitness. In 3 years, I'm very fortunate to start off as a personal trainer and then slowly moved on to fitness manager, assistant club manager, and my last position there in general manager. Why I'm sharing you this is also it's important that we take experience. We go out there, we learn what is the real world, what is the reality of the real world, and also get some experience under our back. And also learn from people that are more experienced than us. It's so important that when we are young or we are old, we're always open for learning. So this is very important. And I'm very fortunate that in these 3 years, I had a very amazing experience with Celebrity Fitness, growing myself, learning so much of things along the way. In 2016, I actually resigned. And at that time, I wanted to open the Asia's largest obstacle gym. It's like the American Ninja concept. In 2016, it's called Play Wellness or Play Fitness at that time. We started off everything, including signing the LOO with the location, started off a minor renovation already. And then my investors say, hey, you know what, Paresh, I'm sorry, I had to pull out of this project. And, basically I lost my job, lost a lot of my dreams along the way as well to kind of open the gym. But I kind of quickly gathered myself. And in 2017, I actually founded Fit Escapes, which is that time a team building and also fitness company. And we have pivoted into now Engage Life, which is a fully health tech, HR tech company. And why I'm sharing you in 2016 is that was my biggest hurdle or my biggest obstacle that I faced in my life that I have to overcome. And I think sometimes it's not about how much that you succeed, it's how much that you learn, or how can you learn from your failures as well. It's so very important, or learn from someone else's failures as well. So that's what I learned in 2016. 2021, I founded 5CS Wellness Solution. It's a one-stop center for supplements. So think of think of it as anything that you feel that you can get on the counter in the pharmacies. We also supply that, but our dosage are much more higher. We go by a concept called biohacking. So we withdraw blood, we test the blood. From there, we hack the blood using supplements that are much more higher in dosage. Example, vitamin D, 10,000 IU, 20,000 IU, stuff like that. So that's another company that I have as well. And I'm very fortunate that Engage Life, 2017 until now, it's been 5 years. We have managed to kind of transform our business from a physical one to a digital one. And we are basically a one-stop center for corporate wellness solution. We are fortunate now to serve close to 30 clients now. These are all our active clients: Maxis, Co-op, Mitsubishi. We're even serving a biggest hospital in Malaysia called Columbia Asia for their prevention care program as well. And along the way, winning multiple awards like HR Vendor of the Year. Also, we won the Digital Health Innovation Challenge in 2021. And my question to you, before we start every sort of thing, and before I share with you guys in terms of like my journey and how to really think like an entrepreneur and all, my question to you is, who wants to be an entrepreneur here, or who is already an entrepreneur? I'm sure some of you guys are already an entrepreneur. So can you guys drop it down in the chat box? Let me know who wants to be an entrepreneur, or who is already an entrepreneur here. So let's keep this very interactive so that, you know, I also can gauge where are you guys and who are the audience. I see some lecturers over here as well. So feel free, you know, to drop it down. Let me know who wants to be an entrepreneur or who is already an entrepreneur. So put it down. You can put number 1 if you are entrepreneur already. Me or Shazwan. Shazwan wants to be an entrepreneur. Hello, Shazwan. Me, I want to be. Anyone else? Tak ada orang lah. Semua don't want to be. Oh, I want to be a millionaire entrepreneur. Yes. One Muhammad Hirwani. Yes. Anyone else?
Paresh, to let you know that
Yes.
One Muhammad Irwani is our director.
Oh, I see. Okay. I want to become a millionaire entrepreneur. Fantastic. Dah millionaire dah kot. Just joking. Yes, I am an entrepreneur, inshallah. Noliza say fantastic. Izaida say me. Aziza say me. That's all lah. Berapa orang je? Ada ramai kan kat sini. I think 30, close to 38 people. No one else ah. Knock, who's there? So I think yes, there's more coming in. Haikal Azhari say me as well. Shawal, I want as well. Shawal also wants to be an entrepreneur. Yes, who don't want to be an entrepreneur, right? So why I ask these questions is important that we know who wants to be or who is really an entrepreneur. And one of the things that I always tell people is, people think that, hey, you know what? Being an entrepreneur is because I want to escape my 9 to 5. I don't want to work 9 to 5. Like, what for work 9 to 5? Being an entrepreneur, I can work anytime I want. I want to be my own boss. I don't want to listen to my lecturers. I don't want to listen to my boss. I just want to be my own boss. Kerja datang, my own time, and then do everything flexible, right? Or work less and earn more. People think, hey, you know, being an entrepreneur, I can work lesser. Semua kerja bagi orang lain buat, and then I can relax, right? So work less and earn more, become rich fast. So people think, hey, you know what, go into business, 2 years, a millionaire, come out with all the money, drive a Ferrari, you know, that stuff. And also some people think you want to be famous. All right, I don't want to be famous. I'm sorry to tell you, whatever you see here is not whatever's going to happen to you. You probably have to work more than 24 hours a day if you're an entrepreneur. You think you want to be your own boss, sometimes making the toughest decision in your life. You have to make so many decisions and everyone is looking to you and your client will be your boss. Just joking. Work less and earn more. Probably you have to work more and earn a bit lesser at the start. It will take you time for you to build your wealth as well. Become rich fast. Yes, sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen, but only 1% usually happens that way. And to be famous, usually you are somewhat in the middle. You're not famous. You have to put in a lot of time, branding, marketing, in order for you to be famous. So if you're coming with this intention, I'm sorry to tell you or disappoint you that, you know, it's going to be tough, right? And do you guys still want to be an entrepreneur? Yes or no? Yes, type 1, no, type 2. Just joking. 1 or 2. Now I still want to be an entrepreneur after telling you the reality of it, right? 1 or 2. I'm sure you guys still want to be like, you know, semangat too, very important, right? So why I brought up this is because when we want to be an entrepreneur or before we go into business or we do anything, the intention is very important. Because when your intention is clear, your pathway is clear. Because when we come in with the intention or the wrong intention, like, hey, you know what? I want to be a millionaire. the intention is already wrong, right? So the pathway for you will not be clear. Instead of that, think of a way of changing your intention. Maybe you have intention of, I want to change the world. I want to bring this solution for the betterment of people, all right? Or you are facing a solution that you want to solve, right? So your intention of being an entrepreneur is so important. I always tell people that your intention clears the pathway for you. Once you have the right intention, you are able to actually move with the clear mindset or the clear action plan. So that's what I want to tell you guys first thing before we even start. Your intention is so important. Whatever in whatever you do in your life, set the clear intention. Your intention needs to be very clear, needs to be very precise, and then you identify this first. How do you do this? You identify what is the intention. If you want, example, you want to start off a clothing company, you want to buy t-shirt, right? Your intentions, you got to know your intention is not, oh, I want to sell t-shirt to make money. Your intention is very clear. I want people to have a comfortable, fashionable t-shirt apparel that people wear and feel proud of it. So identify your intention and then you act onto it. And from after you act into it, you can actually optimize, slowly optimize and slowly change things. But remember, live with intention. Your intentions is so important. So I have cleared the air and we all have a very clear intention today. We are all here to come somehow, ask each other or somehow support each other so that we all can become better. And, hopefully one or two entrepreneurs can come out of here today very successful. And with that said, this is the 5 secret sauce, I would say, or magic 5 that I've learned throughout my journey. I can only share based on my experience. I'm sure that, you have some very experienced lecturers over here, entrepreneurs as well. Everyone have different experience, and I will share this based on my experience and also what I've went through. So the first secret sauce that I have never learned before, or I only learned it like when I was 3rd year in entrepreneurship, is always begin with the end in mind. All right. I think Stephen Covey wrote a book about the 7 habits of highly successful people, and one of the habits was beginning with the end in mind. Why we say begin with the end in mind? Hey, Paresh, I never even start. Is that how you want me to think? Like end in mind, Eddie? Nonsense. How can I do this? But what I'm trying to say here is why we need to begin with the end in mind. Means when you begin with the end in mind, you have a clear understanding of where your destination is going to go. Example, you want to start, let's say, juice company, right? Houseboat. I'm sure all of you guys know Houseboat, right? Houseboat, you want to start a juice company. Where is your destination, right? Whether you want to target into the halal market or whether you want to target into the European market, or you are in a niche of people that are in the age group of 20 to 30 years old. But you need to have a clear destination of where you want to go. If you don't have a clear destination, you can benchmark yourself. Example, if you are starting, let's say, a social media company, you can benchmark yourself against Instagram. You can benchmark yourself with WhatsApp. Look at what are best practices that they have done. And that could be your destination. So when you know your destination, you have a very clear intention, your destination, you're very clear, okay, this is where I'm starting now, and this is where I'm going to end, means you know where you are going to be, and you are able to actually understand where you are now, right? In order for you to go where you want to be, you need to understand where you are now. That's why it's so important that you have a clear destination and then you can assess, okay, I'm here now. Example, you want to start off a Facebook company, or let's say you want to start off an IT company. I mean, I learned it the hard way, right? Do you know how to code? Or are you going to hire someone to code for you? I got cheated twice, right? Hiring international coders from Pakistan, Estonia, Canada, and basically they don't know about any language about coding, and I lost easily a few thousand or hundreds of thousands of dollars just because of that, right? So understanding your destination gives you a clear understanding of where you need to be and what you need to kind of buckle up, or how you can help yourself. So example, if you want to be entrepreneur, you want to open the ASEAN market, you want to go to Singapore, you want to go to Thailand, right? You need to go for an accelerator program, or you go for a market fit, right? In there, that way, the government can actually help you to open up some sort of market. And if you don't know, you go to the wrong course. If instead of going to a market fit course, you go to a marketing course, it doesn't help you in that way. So very important that you understand where you are now, your destination, and then you can begin with the end in mind. So when you begin with the end in mind, you will have a very clear understanding of where you are now and what are the steps you need to take to go to the right direction. Okay? So very clear. Number one, begin with the end in mind. Okay? So when you start anything, always think of the end. All right? And one more thing I'll give you guys in terms of tips, because I'm fundraising now, so we are doing our pre-series A round, which is around 1,000 USD. 1 million USD is about 4.2 million ringgit Malaysia. One very important thing the investors always ask us is, Paresh, what is your exit plan, right? What are you going to do? I want to know where and when I can cash out my money. So very important that when you begin with the end in mind, hey, you know what? My end is trade sale. I'm going to sell this off. I'm going to sell it to, let's say, Salesforce. I'm going to sell it to an insurance company. Or you can say, hey, you know what? My exit plan, my clear destination is to IPO. I want to go IPO in Malaysia market. I want to start with maybe the ACE market, or I want to list in the Singapore exchange. So you need to have a very, very clear end goal so that it's easy for you to also fundraise as well. So this is based on my experience so that you are easier for you to converse with the investors, and also telling the investors what is your clear action plan and when can they actually get the money back. Yeah. So very clear, begin with the end in mind. That is my first tips for you guys today. I hope you guys don't have any questions. If you guys have, you can always drop down in the chat box. So the second tips over here in terms of my journey is mental reframing. When we talk about thinking, when we talk about entrepreneurship, the first is, of course, begin with the end in mind. Once you have the end in mind, you know what to do to get there. And then second thing, you need to frame your mind. You need to change the way you look at things. People say that your mind is actually the mirror of your body. The way you think is the way you're going to act, the way you're going to do things. So mental reframing simply means that changing the way you look at something, or changing the way you look at things. All right. So the number one thing that I learned throughout my journey is to not have a fixed mindset and put myself as the victim. Always, not enough funding lah. Tak boleh cari funding lah. Susah nak buat business ni, tak ada funding lah, tak ada investor. Right? So put myself as a victim. That's my fixed mindset, right? So instead of thinking of a fixed mindset, I slowly shift myself into a growth mindset. When something comes ahead, and remember when you're becoming an entrepreneur, things happen like very fast and you need to make decisions very fast, and failures doesn't happen in a weekly basis. It happens almost every other day. All right. And you need to be ready to solve it and, go through the obstacle. And I always have why this problem always happen to me one? These kind of things, why only happen to me, right? That is basically a fixed mindset. Instead of doing that, now what I'm doing is I'm thinking, thank God this happened to me now. Have a way to see this and fix this right now, right? And when clients give me feedback last time, I always say, client ni memang suka complain saja, right? Always like to say this, say that, right? That is a fixed mindset. So instead of having a very fixed mindset, now I'm thinking thank God my client is telling me all this. I appreciate the feedback so that I can kind of fix it right away and see how I can make my service better. And my next client, when it comes in, don't face the same issue. So what I want to do today is to kind of give you guys this mental reframing. When you have an obstacle, when you have a challenge, or when you have something that comes that throws at you, take it as something positive. When you take it as something positive, you are actually adopting to growth mindset. But when you take things positive, remember, don't be deluded, right? Don't be someone that whatever you say is so positive. Oh, best year, right? Have your limits. Also know your boundaries and know your line, where you need to cut the line. But always take it in a positive manner and adopt to a growth mindset. And you see, things that you can learn here is I can learn to do anything I want. You can be anything that you want. You can learn anything that you want. You can start off business. Anyone can start off business. Yeah. And failure is not the end towards your journey, right? You just need one idea to be successful. You just need one. You don't need 10, you don't need 20, but you might do 10 or 20 to get that one. Yeah. So the second tip is to have a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. And when it comes to entrepreneurship, I always teach this method or always share with my fellow colleagues or people that come to me. I always share with this technique is the Shingo technique. It's actually a technique, it's a lean technique by Shingo. I think Toyota manufacturing technique has been used across the world, and Toyota services is not very bad. It's actually very good. I'm not sure anyone that used Toyota cars, you can see that the service is can say quite good already for the price that you pay and the car that you get, right? And this is also thanks to Shingo. And this technique is very simple, right? When you want to do something, like example, you want to start off a drink company, all right? Or you want to start off, let's say, a burger store. Can you make it easy first or not for you, right? Can you make easy for the client, right? For the client to access to you. So number one method in this technique is called easier. Make it easy for not only you, but easy for your client, right? Example, if you start off let's say a coffee company, you don't make it easy for the client to find for you, then where the client's going to kind of find for you, right or not? If you don't make it easy for yourself, you make it so hard, you need to every month go to Costa Rica, go and catch the coffee, brew the coffee, and then fly back with the coffee. Do you think you will kind of sustain it? You will not, right? You start with something easy, maybe finding a local manufacturer, maybe finding someone that is doing coffee in Malaysia, right or not? Then start easy and then make it easy for your clients to access to you as well. Maybe start with the first channel. Maybe you start off a website or you start off in social media. So start easy. Make it easy for you. Make it easy for your client to find for you, number one. Number two is to make it better. How do you make it better? By looking internally. Look inside. Don't look outside, right? Look at what you can influence. Remember, circle of influence. What you can influence first before you going outside and say, hey, what other things that people can influence? So how you make it better is looking at what you can do better internally. Maybe instead of website, can we look at, where our traffic is the highest? Maybe our traffic is the highest in our pop-up store. So can we do more on our physical pop-up store? Can we make that better? Or example, if you are shipping the beans from overseas, can you have a fixed distributor for you that you don't need to go to 10 places to ship these beans if you're starting a coffee company, right? So make it better internally, and make it better for your client's experience. Remember, we are in a world that is all about experience, right? It's experiential learning, it's experiential shopping, and people like the experience. So how can you make the experience better? So instead of, let's say, me shopping in your website for 10 minutes, can I now shop in your website in 10 minutes but get better value? Maybe I can see much more things. I can get some discount vouchers. Or can I be like a royalty board? Can I be like, a royal customer to you, or be a member, and I get better deals from that? So how can you make it better? The third one is, how can you make it faster? Faster for you, faster for you to distribute, faster for you to get revenue, faster for you to reach out to your client. And number two is how fast can the clients come to you? When I first started, it was so tough for me because I'm in a very niche market. My market is corporate wellness, right? Not many people know there's a economy called corporate wellness as well. So corporate wellness sits at the 10th place of the world wellness economy. And of course, world wellness economy, number one is the beauty, prevention, care. And corporate wellness is actually a wellness economy, surprisingly, right? So when I started, it's so niche. And I always had to think like, hey, how can I get faster? How can I reach my market faster? Right now. And then to myself, I think to myself, hey, you know what? Do I need to go and kind of meet them? Do I need to go to instead of going to 10 places, can I go to 1 places where I can meet everyone? So I learned that my target market is HR or human resources. So what I will do now is to reach them faster, I'll go to human resources summits. I'll go to places where human resources, let's say benefits and rewards, a forum. I'll go to places like this so I can reach my target market faster, right? And when we talk about faster, it's also about optimizing your business. Let's say, an example, just now we were talking about a coffee company. How can we optimize and make it faster for our clients? So instead of the 10 minutes shopping experience, can I make it 2 minutes, but at the same value? Can I drive more people faster to my website or not? So that is what you need to do. So faster. And number 4 is make it cheaper. All right, make it cheaper in terms of your cost. Look at your P&L. Where are you actually spending most of your money? Whether it's your cost of goods. Can you make it cheaper? Instead of making, let's say you are doing coffee beans, your packaging is about 5 ringgit now, right? Into package the coffee beans saja. Coffee bean 2 ringgit, packaging 5 ringgit. Wow, so mahal, right? So how can we make the packaging a bit more cheaper? Can we substitute into something that is more cheaper? Can we get it from China and ship it in and, just pack it ourselves? Can we have a local OEM manufacturer that can be able to make it cheaper for us? So it's very important that you also make it cheaper. And along the way, you will eventually get cheaper if you optimize it and you understand your target market very, very clearly. So don't do it the other way around. Make it cheaper, make it faster, better, and then easier. Don't do it the other way around. I'm sure a lot of people are tempted to do that, but do it this way: easier, better, faster, and cheaper. This way, you will get the best benefit for your business as well. And you can put it in your mindset, on your thinking. Can I make it easier first? Can I make it better? Can I make it faster? Can I make it cheaper? This way, you are able to adapt. You are able to be flexible, and you are able to get the best value for your business as well. So tip number 2, mental reframing. I'm sure you guys have learned some sort of mental reframing before, but the tips number 2, 2 items. Number 1 is adapt to a growth mindset. When your lecturers tell you something, or when someone that has been in the business tell you something, kind of learn from it. No need to take everything, but learn. Because why? It's in good intention. Because why? The only way for you to be successful is to adapt towards this growth mindset and take all this inside and use this information when you need it, right? Growth mindset. The second one, make it easier, better, faster, and also cheaper. I always use this in my wellness training as well. When we tell someone to, hey, you know what? You want to start jogging. Your goal is to become a marathon runner. Okay, can we use this concept? Easier, make it easier. Can you first start walking or not? Can you first do brisk walking or not? Can you send your kids and then go to the closest park? Or not? Can you make it easier for yourself? Or after work, can you maybe spend 10 minutes and make it easy? And then can you make it better? Maybe change shoes, or maybe buy a watch so you can track better. And, can you make it faster? No? Instead of running 10 kilometers in one hour, can you run 10 kilometers in half an hour, right? And then can you make it cheaper? How to make it cheaper? Go and join a marathon, win the marathon. Then it makes it cheaper for you as well. So yeah, second one is mental reframing. And the third one is putting in the work. A lot of times we think that, we can be an entrepreneur, we can hire people, people will do the work for us. Yes, you do need to do that. But at the first, you need to put your hands inside everything and make it dirty, right? You need to go through the experience yourself. You need to put in the work. And one of the formulas I always share is effort equal to opportunity, opportunity equal to results. The more effort you put in, or the more work that you put in, right? Don't just buta work lah. Just simply do things only. You need to put in the right work, right? People say always work smart, right? Work hard and work smart, right? Put in the effort. As you put in the effort, there's more opportunities or more doors will kind of open for you. And from that doors, probably you have 1 or 2 results. And I always tell people 10:1 ratio when we do sales, right? 10 leads, you probably get 1 sale from it, right? So the more leads you, or the more effort you put in towards generating leads or, generating your business, the more opportunity you have to gain 1 result or 2 results. So effort equal to opportunity, opportunity equal to results. And 2 things will be your best friend when we talk about putting and making your hands dirty. Number 1 is to have an MVP. A lot of times we do things, we do already say, hey, you know what, present to a lecturer, hey, this one I need funding lah, I need 1 million, this funding. Lecturer will say to you, hey, come on lah, you don't even have a product, right? Or if you go to investors, you take something already, you say, hey, what? I need like 20 million to just build this, all right? Don't have any history, don't have any background, don't even have a product. So your best friend over here and putting in the effort is your MVP, minimum viable product. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have went through this, but it's basically something or product without all the bells and whistles and also nice to have stuff. All right. It's just a product that's minimum, that able to go to the market first. All right. Or be able to be presented to the market first. Or presented for testing, right? You could be having a prototype or, spend some minimum money to create a prototype and then taking it to the market first. So that is minimum viable product. So as for me, what I did when COVID happened is I had to let go a lot of my stuff in 2020. Unfortunately, we were a very physical company. We were doing team building, fitness classes, and I had to let go all of my stuff because of COVID. And I thought that I'm going to shut down my business because, don't know what else to do. So what I did is I quickly start off a minimum viable product. I quickly start off a web-based software first. That time, not an app yet. I started out web-based software. So web-based software is a bit more easier and flexible for you instead of starting an app, because app, everything you need to go through Play Store, you need to go to Android, and every function that you push takes time for you to go through the enhancement. So I started off a web. So web-based are a bit more easier for you to make changes, and it's a good platform for you to learn. So I quickly code that. Got a few of my buddies, got a few of my friends, spent some money, code a minimum viable product, and took it to the market in September of COVID. And we had that time 1 client that say, hey, Paresh, okay lah, I try first lah and see how it's going to be. And we started off that with 1 client, and 1 client became 2, 2 became 3, 3 became 4. And along the way, we make so much of changes. Every week, we are pushing a new update. Every week, we're pushing a new update. But we had a minimum viable product that people was on our platform. People were giving us feedback. Sometimes we always stuck in the prototyping phase. We do already something already, we create something already. We don't take it out in the market. We think, oh, this is the best product in the world. We have the best product. No one else has this. Yes, in your own mind. Yes, I never say it's not right or wrong, but in your own mind is the best product. You need to take this to the market. People need to see it. People need to give you feedback. That is how you actually learn from it. And I took it, we at that time we had about we started off as 60 people, 60 people on our web platform, and towards the end of the year we had 2,500 people on our platform. And we did the A/B testing. of 50 people, and we did A testing and B testing of, at least 1,000 people to kind of know and prove the concept that, hey, we have a minimum viable product now. And that have gave me inspiration to actually build my app better and, more faster and more cheaper and all that stuff in the future or now as we have already launched products. So put in the effort, but remember, put in the effort and creating your first prototype and get it out to the market so that you have a minimum viable product, number one. And that's your first good friend when putting in the effort. Get it out, get it tested, get people to give you feedback, right? So that's the minimum viable product. And your second friend over here is actually sales. Without sales, you're nothing, right? You can be the best product in the world, but you don't have sales. It shows that there's no market towards it, or you are not reaching to the right market, or there is no one that knows about this market or knows about this product. So your second best friend after your MVP or your minimum viable product or prototype is actually your sales. You need to be able to sell this product or sell these items to either investors, to clients, or to colleagues. Or if you are doing a cucuk goreng or cucuk pisang, also you need to be able to sell it to your family members at least, right? So remember, go and sell it, and along the way, you will learn so much of things. And always people have the misconception that, Paresh, I actually want to be an entrepreneur so that I no need to sell. Sorry to tell you that sales, the day you born in the world, you are actually selling yourself. You know why? Because you cry, right? You cry when you're born, right? You cry. Why you cry is you say, hey, what? World, I'm here, right? You're already selling yourself, right? And why you actually wearing nice clothes? Why you dressed up properly? You need to sell yourself. So every day we are selling, and every day people are selling to us. But the way of selling is very important. Sell the problem you are solving, not the product. People don't buy the product. People buy you and the problem that you are solving. Your message to the world, or your message of what you are doing, is very, very, very important. Because why? Ultimately, people are buying you, people are buying your vision and mission, and people are buying the dream of what they could be or how they could feel when they use your product or services. So sell the problem, not the product. And funny enough, I always share with this statistics when people talk about sales. I do teach sales as well. And one of the things people always say, hey, Paresh, you know what? I always sell. I go sell 2-3 times. People don't come back to me. People don't buy. And you can see these stats over here. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. Sales happens not in a day, right? It's a building process. I always tell people, MTNUT. Money, time, need, urgency, trust. If you don't follow MTNUT, or from the back onwards, trust, people don't trust you, then you will not be able to sell. And sales is a building process. You need to build trust with your prospect. All right. Sometimes people, of course, they ask certain population people, they see, they will buy. But most of the majority of people, they need to trust you. They need to trust the brand. They need to trust your vision, right? So trust is so, so important, right? So 48% of people don't actually follow up. 25% of salespeople never even make a contact and stop, a second stop, right? 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop. 3 times I call you, nombor yang anda dah tidak dapat dihubungi, I don't actually follow up with you anymore. Right? And only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. And you can see 80% of sales are made on the 5th or 12th contact. No matter what services you're providing, it takes time. It takes effort, right? And make sure you don't give up on that prospect. Maybe today I'm not going to buy with you, but tomorrow I might buy. Or if I cannot buy, probably I don't have money, time, need, urgency, trust. Or I don't have the urgency or need for this product, right? But if you have done a great job, you have built that relationship with me, I probably will recommend. I will say, hey, Sherry, if you want this product, you probably can check them out. They are actually very good. And the guy is very trustworthy. So remember, in this tip here, number 1 is create a minimum viable product. Number 2, sales. Go out and sell it. Go out and make your dream alive. You need to be able to also sell this. And if you can't, if you tell me, hey, Paresh, I cannot sell it, you need to find someone or a co-founder. Remember, don't worry about, your shares lah and all that kind of stuff, right? And all that stuff. You need people that have different skill sets, that believe in the same dream that you have. If you have a dream, I remember one of our fellow entrepreneur, robopreneur, Dr. Hanafia, he wanted to build a arm that is robotic arm, right? And he always shared his dream to people, but no one believes him. And he have a co-founder that believes in his dream. You need someone that have different skill set. And Dr. Hanafia must be a person that is very intelligent, but he doesn't do the sales. He finds someone else that is more better or more proficient in that particular area to help him to sell and believes in his same vision. So if you cannot do it, you need to find a co-founder or someone that you can really trust, that believes in the same vision, and then execute it. Okay, so tip number 3 done. Tip number 4 over here is actually your network is your net worth. It's very important that I share this is because when I first started, right, I didn't know where to actually reach out for. And I was so fortunate during COVID times, I actually saw this Facebook ad about an accelerator program or global accelerator program by Magic at that time. Magic Malaysian Global Innovation Center. And I told myself, ni mesti tak dapat ni kalau apply, mesti ramai yang apply kan. So I actually told myself, it's okay lah, just ask my staff to just apply and see. And it really changed my life because why? You open up so much of knowledge to me. You open up so much of opportunity to me. Let me see other best practices that businesses are doing, universities are doing, research centers are doing. It gave me an overall view of what actually Malaysian market and what are the grants, what are the fundings that are actually available for me. So don't be afraid of expanding your network because why? If you don't expand your network, you are only within your circle. You tahu orang yang you tahu saja. All right? Or you can only see the fingers that you can see. Okay? You cannot see any others, right? You don't know what other things that are going on. And actually in Malaysia, people always tell me, I tak dapat knowledge, tak ada dapat funding lah. There is so much of funding out there. And there's so much of knowledge. I'm sure that, UKM also have probably an incubator program. Or some sort of accelerator program as well that you can actually join, and there's so much knowledge that you can gain from mentorship or getting someone like your professor to mentor you or giving you, opening up his network to you. Is so important that you go and reach out to this kind of people because why? Remember, your network is your net worth. If you don't have a good network, you will not be able to expand your business. And these are some of the networks that really helped me. I've been in Malaysian Digital Chambers of Commerce, and you can see that because I'm in digital, in more of the tech side, I always go to more of the tech-based kind of associations or research centers. So MBCC is one of it. JCI is Junior Chambers International is also something that really helped me in terms of learning of how to organize an event, how to chair an event, right? Persatuan Usahawan Maju Malaysia also opened up so much of opportunities for me. Meranti, of course, last time is Magic. Next year Academy is also, Next year is actually one of Asia's largest VC capital firms. And they also have their own incubator program, and I'm also in their academy. And MPC, Malaysia Productivity Corporation, which is suitable for business like me because I'm also looking at productivity or national productivity rate. and how can we actually improve productivity in SMEs, in MNC and GLCs as well. So MPC is also a very good network for me. And through this network, you never know, this opportunity has arisen for me through this network, right? I will probably not be able to know Shawal or Sherry or Shazwan today, but not for this network, because the Meranti actually recommended, or Musti actually recommended, and here I am today. If you don't get yourself to the right network, or you don't get yourself into a network, you are not able to expand yourself. And through this network, I've been able to this year to talk at MDCC for the Digital Economy Forum. Last week, I was in the Star newspaper at the back, of course. Networking is vital for SMEs. A close networking with the Star newspapers and also SOBA, or International Star Business Award. So make sure you take time to expand your network. And I'm not telling this is only just asking you guys to go and join all this association. Yes, you can actually join, but look at the closest people to you. Can you ask help from your lecturers? Can you ask help from people? Maybe you have a friend that's doing business. Can you ask recommendation and say, hey, you know what? Can I come and maybe just understand more? Can I mingle more? Just getting yourself into that whole environment, or that I call it ecosystem, really will help you a lot, and you will be able to expand not only your network but also your mind as well, in terms of what are the practices or what are the things that people are actually doing out there. So tip number 4, your network is your net worth. Okay, so far so good. So that is 4 tips. Do drop it down in the chat box. Let me know that so far, are you guys okay? Yes or no is yes, number 1. Number 2 is no. You feel like, oh, this one is a waste of time today coming here. Yeah. So I see number 1. Thank you so much. Number 1. I do this so that you guys don't sleep, huh? Just joking. Good. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for the feedback. Okay, I will move on into the 5th tip that I have is sometimes you win, sometimes you learn, right? And I learned it in the hard way. I actually started off businesses that also didn't work very well. I mentioned to you guys in 2016, I have purchased this place. I've actually got some of my staff to resign from Celebrity Fitness to come and join me. And if you go to KL Gateway today, you go to the top floor, KL Gateway Mall, there's a 33,000 square feet space that's still empty there. That's supposed to be our space, right? And we started renovation and, it didn't work very well. But at that time, I felt so bad. I felt so down. I felt like, hey, you know what? The whole world is going against me. Why did this person do this to me? Why did my investor pull out? It's not a very nice thing to do. I punish myself, victimize myself. Maybe I'm just stupid, or, maybe people just don't believe in me. But throughout the time, I always think to myself, if I don't get myself up, who's going to get me up, right? If I don't push myself up, who's going to push me up? No one is going to come and help you. Trust me, if you're an entrepreneur, you have to motivate yourself. Of course, having a network of people is very important, very vital, but you also have to have very, very strong self-determination and also motivation, because that is your main fuel that's going to drive you. And failures is only going to make you better. The more obstacle you face, the more you are going to learn, the more you're going to get better, right? In 5 years, my business, the first 3 years of my business, we were very stagnant. We were like, doing half a million revenue, $500,000 revenue. Every single year, $500,000 in revenue. Like, it doesn't pass like $500,000, right, for the past 3 years. And I always tell to myself, hey, you know what? Why is this happening to me, right? And because why? Because whatever that I do, I don't learn from it. I needed to learn more. And whatever that I lose, let's say I lose a client, I always like blame the client. Hey, ni tak nak beli ni, always don't like to buy this one. This one always complain. But all that is giving you a signal, or all that is giving you something for you to ponder and something for you to improve yourself. Whether it's a failures or obstacles, always a way for you to learn and improve on yourself as well. So back at then, what I did is I start when the business was not doing very well, I started hiring consultants. I had hiring mentors to actually teach me better, or hiring someone that has done it before to kind of look at my P&L, look at my costing, and tell me, hey, you know what, Paresh, this is how you can expand, or this is how can you do it better. So in everything that you do, sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. So don't be afraid of losing, or don't be afraid of challenging yourself, because why? Very interesting stat here. Roughly 80% of small businesses survive the first year. So that's good stat lah, huh? That's okay again. Survive more than first year. But the same stats over here, this is by Forbes, Forbes Business. However, you can see the numbers fall very sharply, and only half of small businesses survive past 5 years mark. We are at 6 years, so we fingers crossed we have passed the 5th year. So, 5th year, and depending on the year or the business started, beyond that, only 1 in 3 small businesses get to the 10-year mark and live to tell the tale of 10 years. And also, I'm sure that you guys have also learned that there is business cycles that will go into maybe 10 years once business cycle. And then after 10 years, you have to do something to tweak your business to make it better. Or if not, means you will be like, a slope that is going downwards again. So based on these stats, what I can tell you is you will have failures, right? You will have times when you start business, tak jadi, all right? Or how to say, kurang successful. Not very successful, or not successful at all, but not very here and there. It's in between. You will have challenges like this, but remember, out of 10 ideas that you have, you just need 1. You just need that 1 home run, or 1 businesses that you can really, really hit home run based on that. So keep coming out with ideas, be creative as possible. Don't worry and limit yourself in terms of what you can create and what ideas you can have. Everyone's ideas are perfect, but once you have this idea, remember, minimum viable product, sales, and then optimize it. That's what you need to do, right? And based on these stats, don't worry of failing, because sometimes you win, sometimes you learn, right? So this is the 5th tip that I'm going to give to you guys to think like an entrepreneur. So far you have 5 tips already. I would like to ask you guys, which is the best tip, or which tips that you like the most? Drop it down in the chat box. I still have some bonus tips that I'm going to give to you guys, but let me know in the chat box which one you like the most so far, and is everything so far so good? For me, I like the last one, because people often want to win, but they don't want to lose, or they don't want to learn. All right. So I like the 5th one the most, because in everything that we do, we need to learn, right? So I see number 4 over here. Fantastic. Your network is your network. Yes, very, very true. That's a fantastic tip, because why? If you don't expand, you're actually limiting yourself, right? Kalau you kat situ saja, if let's say example lah, today I'm from Alustar, Kedah, orang Kedah tau. If I limit myself to just networking in Kedah or in Alustar alone, I probably won't be here today, right or not? Because I'm limiting myself limit in my own circle, right? So yes, number 4, anyone else? Which tip you like the most? Number 1 to number 5. So we have 4 over here. Anyone else? No one? Tak ada? No one? I will move on into the next one. There are some bonus tips over here. I think number 1 bonus tips is be the change. Often that you see this problem, entrepreneur, you want to think like, hey, this problem is happened to me or happened to someone, I want to solve it. But sometimes we are afraid of that change. We are afraid to be that change. Takut orang cakap, apa lah dia, tengok problem dia orang nak solve, right? We scared of the small talks that people will do. So we are afraid to be the change that we need in this world. So I always tell people, entrepreneurs are people that are not afraid of changes, are people that were willing to take the risk, and the crazier the idea, the better it is, right? So because you want to make a change in the world, you need to be a bit crazy lah. Orang cakap, you need to think, or you need to be different, or you need to be someone that thinks differently. And changes happens almost every other day. As an entrepreneur, if you don't change, your competitor is just waiting at the back door to change and make themselves better. So be the change and embrace change, because very importantly, if you don't embrace the change, you get left off. Example for me, my 4th year into my business, I had to let go 20 staff. 20 staff I had to let go during COVID. Because why? I found it very hard to change. This is my mistake. I felt that, we are so comfortable doing $500,000 a year, good revenue. We had 20 staff, we have 2 businesses, $500,000. Okay lah, 1 million, cukup lah, right now. But when COVID hit, I found it so hard to change because I was so used to physically doing things, not doing digitally. And when I had to basically learn code lah, I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing in my life? I'm a physiotherapist. Now I'm learning basic coding. What am I doing in my life? Right? But if I never make that change today, probably I won't be here talking to you guys. And I won't launch my app, which now have about 5,000 users on it, because I've embraced that change. I told myself changes are good. It's not comfortable. I feel like, wow, I don't like this feeling, but it needs to happen. And in entrepreneurship, changes happen very, very fast. You need to adopt, especially when we talk about, we spoke here that, some of you guys are looking at digitalization, looking to be more tech-based startups. Tech is moving so damn fast. We have Web 3.0, we have the AIs coming in, we have 5G that are coming in already. Trust me, on our backend, we are doing predictive analysis. We are also trying to see how we can incorporate AI, machine learning into it. And it's happening in a so fast pace that you need to cope up or you need to catch up. And in order for you to do that, my number 2 tip for you is you need to have a very solid team. You need to have a team of people that believe in you and have different skill sets. Example, for us, we have 14 people on our development, on our IT side, and each of them have different skill sets. We have one for UI UX, we have one for backend server, we have one for cybersecurity, we have one for just looking at the data that are coming in. So we also have one for just CTO, but you have different skill sets here. And if you want to go quickly, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you need a team of people. Yeah, and sometimes you cannot do everything yourself. So cannot. You need to find a way to delegate and find people that have different skill sets to able to help you to make that changes as well. So I learned it the hard way. I thought to myself, hey, Paresh, learn basic coding already, Python lah, all that kind of stuff, very smart already lah, huh? Then go and hire people from Pakistan, go and hire people from Estonia, look at their CVs right online. Oh, this one very cheap lah, 1 hour, 120 ringgit only. And then hire them. Little did I know that you need some specific skills in order for you to manage this kind of developers. You need to make sure you have a proper code structure. You need to have a proper code library, which I didn't know at that time. And when we went to compile these codes, we had an issue and it crashed. That's why my app was delayed for at least 8 solid months of delay. And we had to start from scratch all over again, right? So remember, you need to build a team. You need a team to support you, a mentor. I actually love mentorship. I love people mentoring me. I love to mentor people as well. Because why? Sometimes our mentors have done this mistake like 10, 20 times before. They have done it. They have learned from it. And they can give you tips that money cannot buy or time cannot buy. It needs to take you years for you to learn this one mistake, but they can actually identify and give you this some sort of advice for you to fasten your process. So mentoring is also very good, you know. Over here you have good lecturers, yeah, you have good professors, you know, get them to start helping you, mentoring you, maybe 3 months once, you know, 2 months once, 1 month once. I have mentoring every single month. I have 3 mentorships from 3 different people. So 3 different skill sets of people. Maybe one is from IT, one is for business, one is for mainly programming. So you see, different skill sets gives you different inputs as well. And remember, you need to build a solid team. When you start a business, build your core team first. Your core team on the top above is very, very important, because why? Your top team, you need one for marketing, you know, chief marketing officer, chief technology officer if you are doing, yeah. You need maybe a CFO to kind of run it. And then you need one person, which is CEO, and then you need one person, COO. Maybe just 5 people first. Build based on people that you work with, people that you can find that have a specific skill set that will be able to add value to you. And remember, along the way, people will go and come and go. You need to find people that really believe in your idea. And one of the things we apply here is a share exchange program, where if you are in the top management or you come in top management, you are able to gain certain shares from our company when they exit, or in an event of when they are IPOing, or in an event that we have a trade sale. So we have a specific formula to kind of retain the C-suite people, or to retain the good people in our company. So this is very important, and I learned it the hard way. I have recruited and also let go, maybe I say 3 or 4 different batches of people, different backgrounds, different skill sets. And the number one thing I learned is, when you hire people, you also need to find ways to retain them. Retaining good talents are also very, very important and vital towards the business as well. So that is tip number 2 for you guys. If you want to go quickly, go alone. And if you want to go far, you have to go together. And number 3, the tip number 3 that I'm going to share with you guys over here is based on this story. Have anyone seen this? True, Sherry say true, must appreciate good talents. Yes, definitely, Sherry. Your talents is the one going to help you to build your company. You cannot build it alone. Yeah. And the tip number 3 is based on this story of this train. It's called Snowpiercer. Have anyone watched this Netflix series called Snowpiercer? Put it down in chat box. Let me know. Drop an S inside Snowpiercer, a big S for Snowpiercer. If you have seen this Netflix series, Shazwan said yes. Anyone else that have seen this story as well? So I'll go ahead and actually tell you about this story. This train exists as the only civilization in the story, in this plot of this movie, right? And this train is called Snowpiercer. It happened 7 years after the world was freeze or become a freezing wasteland, right? So there's nothing living in the world anymore, and this train is the only one living, and this train needs to keep going because if the train stops, the engine stops, everything turns very cold. People start dying in the train because there's no energy source. So the only way for people to survive in this train is for the train to keep going. And this train will go through different pathways. They'll go through like mountain lah, had to go through iceberg lah, and internally in this train also got so many things happening lah. There's like war happening within this train as well. So the story here is, I'm the train, I'm Snowpiercer, I'm driving across life. The life is basically the track. So the minute I stop, basically the life ends lah, right? Because that's the only way the train is keeping everyone alive, right? And the train is basically me, and I'm going through life, which is the track. The conductor in the train, in the movie, I'm sure Shazwan, you watch the movie, they call them the engineers, right? The engineers is the conductor, so they are the one that will check temperature lah, whether any leakage in the train lah. So the conductor here is actually my mind, right? The way I think, my attitude. Like for them, they had to think about how can I stop in different stops to see whether which places is actually the temperature is increasing, so that they can start a new civilization in that place, because they are stuck in the train. So their attitude is they have to have a hope. They need to have hope that, oh, I need to find, or I need to, in a way, somehow or other find a place where I can start civilization. And the action that they take, let's say something break down, you need to find a way to fix it, get people to go out of the train and fix it as well. So the conductor is my mind, attitude, and action. And the engine is basically my body. They call the engine internal, right? The engine is basically the main. If the engine dies, everyone dies. So the engine is our body. And the stations that they go through, or I go through, is actually my goals, right? Whether I want to find a place to start a civilization, or I want to find more food, that is my goals. And sometimes in life brings you in different paths. Some paths are more hilly, some paths are more not very direct. And there's so many paths that we can take in our life. And, there's so many paths we can use in our life as well. But what I'm trying to say here is, no matter where our goals are, where or which station we want to stop in, we need to take care of, number one, our body. Our body is so important. We need to take care of our engine. Our engine not functioning, we cannot do anything. Today, we want to become an entrepreneur. Our engine is not strong. How are we going to wake up and actually do things, right? And our mind, our attitude, our action is so important, because why? Things will happen and things will get nasty or dirty. We need to have a very positive, like I say, there's not mental reframing. We need to have a very good growth mindset. So no matter what life throws at us, we are able to hammer through like the snow piercer. So the moral of here is, we need to take care of our health. The first wealth is actually our health. I don't care you want to be an entrepreneur, or you want to be a businessman, you want to be a successful person. If you don't take care of your health, you won't be able to achieve anything, or you won't be able to push through, because that is so key, right? And as a solo entrepreneur, I learned it the hard way, right? I used to feel like, oh, I need to do everything I need to do. And I suffer from burnouts. I suffer from burnout myself. And I suffer from times that I feel like, hey, you know what? I just don't want to do this anymore. Just want to give up. You know why? Because I don't take care of my body. I don't take care of my mind. So remember, number one wealth is your health. And I'll give you a tips over here. What you can do is to take your meds. What I mean by take your meds? Oh, Paresh ni suruh I ambil apa medication ke? No. What I'm trying to say here is take your meds means medication. Very important. You have some time to ground yourself, to meditate. Even you are an entrepreneur, you can start your morning with some sort of meditation, or affirmation, or kind of ground yourself into that space, and then you set yourself for the day. Or when the end of the day, you can set yourself 5-10 minutes. I'm not asking you to do 1 hour of meditation, or religious study, or not like that. Just ground yourself 5-10 minutes, calm yourself down, get yourself in a very clear mindset, clear your thoughts that are coming from everywhere. And that way you are able to actually lower down your stress level as well. So number one, M for medicine, exercise. Very important that you practice exercising. You see all the successful people 1 week, or at least once or twice, to do exercises, because why? Improves the blood flow, creates that creative thinking. And if let's say you have some sort of like a block, let's say you cannot think or you cannot solve, you should go for exercise, because why? It helps you produce endorphin, and that happy cell will be able to create more ideas for you. Like, let's say example, if let's say I have a mental block, I will just take a walk around my office or something like that. They kind of clear that, or go downstairs, buy a coffee. Yeah, just clear that thought. Or exercise doesn't mean you have to like do like 30 minutes or 1 hour. You can actually take a quick walk, 5-10 minutes, park your car away, take a walk, just move. It's very important. Exercise. D, diet. As an entrepreneur, I'm sure one of the hardest thing to do is to eat. Sometimes you don't have time to eat, like you want to eat like another meeting and then people calling you. So diet is very important, and looking at what you eat to help your brain growth or to help you think better is very important. Things like omega-3 is very important for your thinking, for your mind. And also it helps you to kind of feel better in a day. So example, if you eat like a heavy meal on the day, you feel like so lethargic, you feel like you don't want to do anything, right? So your diet is so important. Remember, 60% of any sorts of result happen from diet. And last but not least, sleep. Don't be proud of not sleeping. A lot of entrepreneurs say, oh, I'm very proud, I never sleep the whole day. Don't be proud of that, because why? It accumulates in the long run, it affects your body. Just imagine you are an entrepreneur. You're now 5 years into the business is doing very well. You are so stressed. You are obese. You don't eat very well. You don't sleep very well. You have insomnia. Just imagine whatever happened to your business. Will the business run very successfully? Not really, because you are not there to drive it. You don't have the health to drive it. So my last bonus tip for you is this, which is your first wealth is your health. Before you want to become an entrepreneur, make sure you also take care of your health, because that will really, really help you a lot in the long run, not in the short run, but in the long run, being an entrepreneur as well. That is actually all from me. Actually, that's a 1 hour, close to about 1 hour. I will open half an hour for just Q&As. I hope to be able to answer all your questions. And I'd like to end my slides today with this very important quote. To learn and not to do is not to learn. To do and not to learn is not to do. So in anything that you learn, you need to do. Apa yang you belajar, kenalah buat. Yang apa yang you buat, you kena belajar. Whatever that you do, you are doing, just don't buta-buta do ni. Every day I see entrepreneurs stuck in their business. They just do every day, and they don't learn from it. So in anything that you do, you need to learn. And anything that you learn, you need to put in practice as well. So that is all from me actually for today. You can actually follow me on my Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. If you have any further questions later on, I'll be always happy to answer your questions. And let's get connected. Remember, your network is your net worth. All right. Thank you very much, guys. So I'll open up the floor to question and pass over the floor to the moderator today.
So thank you so much to Paresh. It's a wonderful session today. So any questions, the participants can ask through the chat box or can ask directly through the microphone. So any questions from the participants? So we have some questions from Fairuz Mat Yassin. What is your principle in doing all of this, and how to stay in spirit and not give up easily? So Paresh?
That's a fantastic question. I think it's a two-part question. What is the principle that I have? Very importantly, that when you start a business, you need to understand your mission and vision. Often we always start business, we always think the vision and mission, kita tengok, alah ni visi misi saja, right? But your vision and mission is the one that is going to drive you across time. Like our mission is to make the world a healthier, happy place, or healthier, better and happy place. That is our vision. In anything that we do in our company, we always think of make it better. How can we make it better for people? How can we make lives better, right? So our mission and vision really boils down to who we are and what we really want to do for the world. So have a very clear vision and mission. That's number one, right? Number two, I would say is have some values integrated. Sometimes you need to have these values engraved in you, right? And these values cannot be compromised. No one can compromise these values. If you break these values, your employees break these values, is so inevitable that these values cannot be broken. If it's broke, there is some sort of you need to some sort of like maybe ask the person, sorry, you have break these values, you cannot stay with us anymore. Like some of our brand values are like integrity. We believe in integrity, we believe in innovation, right? So these are non-negotiable for us, cannot negotiate one, right? So in terms of principle wise, these are some of the stuff that I do, and it really helped me. If you can go and do your brand canvas. So a brand canvas tells you a story of what your brand is feeling, what kind of colors, what kind of mission and vision, who are the people that you're talking to? Are they interacting the same with you and associating your brand with you? Previously, just to give you an example, my brand was Fit Escapes. When you listen to Fit Escapes, what do you think? Probably a gym, probably a team building company, right? But it doesn't associate with what we want to do in our mission and vision. We wanted to do corporate wellness. Now we have shifted and we took a very bold step to change our vision and mission and change our brand look and feel to suit our mission and vision. Now we are Engaged Life, right? Engaged Life could be, it feels more corporate wellness, right? It's something that engaging with life. So make sure you skew down your vision and mission. Go and look at your brand canvas. You can do a brand canvas. It's not very expensive to actually, get someone to actually do it for you as well. And you as a founder, you need to make sure that you know your brand values, mission, vision very, very well, and it's engraved. Dia macam tattoo tau, tapi tak boleh nampak ni. It's already there on you, right? So that's number one. Number two is how to stay in spirit. It's a tough question. As an entrepreneur, sometimes the journey is very lonely. You feel very alone in this journey, but it should not be like that. Why I say it should not be like that is when I started off, I always think to myself, oh, I need to make sure that I only facing this alone, or I don't share these issues with people that are my colleagues. I don't share it. It shouldn't be like that. Because why? The lonely can be, if the journey is lonely for you, it's lonely for everyone. So what you can do is to join more entrepreneurs. Get yourself in touch with people that are like-minded. Example, Shazwan, you want to be an entrepreneur, right? You mix with more entrepreneurs. Probably you will think like an entrepreneur, you will act like an entrepreneur in the future. Because why? You get yourself into that circle of people that have the same mindset, same influence. And from there, if you never get 100% of their knowledge, you can get 1%. It's going to add 1% to you, right? And that's only going to get you better. So my advice is, to keep your spirit high, go and join people that are like-minded. Because why? They are facing the same problem like you. Like in what we do in Nexia Academy is 1 month once, we meet up 9 to 5, we put our phones away, we open up our heart, we will give ourselves an update and say, hey, you know what, these are problems I'm facing. So one of the things I say, hey, I was facing a hiring problem. Can you guys help me to give me some ideas? What is the best practices that you guys are doing? How are you guys hiring? Where are you guys taking talents from? What kind of, age group are you looking at for talents? So that's what we do in the next year. And we get so many different ideas out of it. So the journey should not be lonely. You should have people to support you. You should have people that can really push you. But if you don't have, you are lonely, you want to keep your spirit high, remember, passion and intention is very important. You need to have the right intention of what you want to do. And you need to let your passion drive you. Because if you're not passionate enough, you won't, it's like you're just doing it just for the money. When you do it for the money, you are not there to solve the issue. You're not there to make the changes. So boil down to what you are passionate about. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, is this what I want to do? And if the answer is yes, do that. It's very important. So I hope that answers the question.
Okay, Mr. Paresh.
So we have another questions. It's a very challenging question. Huh?
I have a question.
Oh, okay. Dr. Wan,
Okay.
please ask.
Mr. Paresh, thank you for your time and excellent presentation. Okay, my name is Wan Muhammad Wani. I'm from Penang, from Lostar.
Yeah, let's start.
Okay, I have a very simple question I want to ask you.
Sure.
What is the difference between entrepreneur and businessman?
Right.
Business. So because when I noticed when I go to the meet and they will say that, oh, we are business, we are different than entrepreneur. And so how we want to differentiate this?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, actually. I mean, for me, at least for me, I will feel that businessman is a person that takes opportunity for everything. Everything that boleh buat duit, I want to get involved in. All right. Businessman's passion and vision and mission probably is they share a bit different compared to entrepreneurs. Why I say that is entrepreneurs are people that wants to solve a problem or wants to really make a change in the world, right? So I think that for me is a very clear differentiation between a businessman. Businessman means any business that wants to generate money and can generate money, I want to get myself involved in. Entrepreneur is someone that if this business, I'm passionate about it, is this business solving and making the world a better and healthier place and is suited towards my vision and mission, that's what I want to do. So I think for me, that is the clear differentiation between a businessman, I would say opportunities, and also an entrepreneur who really put his passion and vision and mission into making the world a better place. I hope that answers your question, Dr. Wan.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, another question is quite tough. I think this is the toughest questions since you have presented before that becoming entrepreneur, you need to have a lot of commitment in terms of time and then focus. You no longer work 9 to 5 anymore. But these particular questions are asking for how do you keep good work-life balance as an entrepreneur? So how is it, Paresh?
Yeah, I feel like when you first start, of course, that will be a bit haywire lah. Huh? I am not like telling you the sweet story, cerita bunga semua. I don't want to do that. But what I'm trying to say here is at the start, probably it's going to be hard, but time management is very key, right? Time management and delegation of work. When you have people, you have to be able to delegate, trust them, give them the opportunity for them to also show their best work. You hire them for a reason, you know. You don't hire them for you to do their work, right? So trust them, give them opportunities for them to grow. I would say that's number one. Number two is time management. Very important that we set time and prioritize time very, very specifically. And what I usually do is I look at things that I need to do first. So in the morning, I have my to-do list. My first top 3 things that I need to do urgently needs to get done. No one can do it. Only I can do. I solve that first. So morning itself, I'm winning already. I'm achieving some sort of winning. So it sets my day into what I want to do. All right. And 1 week once, what I usually do, because I'm so busy, I'm running 2 businesses at the same time. I'm also doing my international executive masters in business administration. I'm doing my MBA as well. So I'm also very busy, right? So what I need to do, I need to schedule in. What's scheduled in gets done. So I schedule 1 week once, at least I go for 1 Muay Thai session, you know, training myself. Or, you know, 1 week once I go for a physiotherapy session if I have, let's say, a discomfort in my neck. So time management is number 1, but number 2 is schedule it in. You need to schedule it in. You need to schedule in a way that it's already in your calendar, right? I use a calendar app called Timetree, or you can also use Google Calendar as well. Timetree allows me to also assign the tasks to people, and that's one of the ways I actually manage my time very well. And in terms of balance, what I believe is if you don't have a perfect balance, I always teach this in my class. It's called the Wheel of Life, right? Wheel of Life is created by John Max Mayer. Is the founding father of self-development, right? It shows you pillars of wellness, right? There's 7 pillars of wellness. Number 1, exercise and nutrition, which is the physical pillar. Number 2 is mental and emotional, which is, your stress levels and stuff like that. Number 3 is environmental, things like plastic, things like usage of waste, stuff like that. Number 4 is financial wellness, right? Number 5 is intellectual wellness. Number 6 is social wellness, right? So 6 pillars already you have over here. And number 7 is your spiritual wellness, which is, your sense of belief, your sense of purpose, or, your prayers or your belief in God, right? So there's 7 pillars of wellness over here. What I usually do is I try my best to find ways to improve on each of these pillars and see what is not balanced and what is balanced. You can actually do the Wheel of Life assessment. Go Google it up, Wheel of Life assessment, 0 to 10 scale, see where you are at. So sometimes you feel like, okay, my financial is a bit weak. So you work on that more, right? Let's say your intellectual is a bit weak. Let's say you don't do a lot of self-development, reskilling and upskilling. You can actually work on that pillars a bit more better. So that is how you prioritize not only the time, but prioritize the pillars that you need to work on with, or how you can balance it up, right? Let's say you feel your physical pillar is very bad. Everything is okay, but physical pillars, then you work on that. You set your time and then you schedule it in. That is how I usually manage, and I hope that will help you as well.
Okay, another question from Dr. Norliza Abdurrahman. Marketing is very important for business. What is Mr. Paresh's view? She's asking that.
Yeah, I definitely feel so. I feel 2 things very important. One is branding. You need to be able to brand, because brands create trust, right? Like example for Milo, right? It's marketed in a way that it's a healthy drink, all right? It's a very healthy breakfast for champions, right? It's marketed in a way, but you don't buy that marketing. You don't buy and say, hey, what? I buy it because I want to be breakfast of champion. You buy because of the brand, because it's Milo, right? It's Nestle, it's Milo, right? Because you buy for the brand. So I feel marketing and branding needs to go hand in hand. It's 2 separate things, but it needs to go hand in hand. And marketing, there's offline marketing, online marketing. You need to find what really works for your market. So example, for us, right? We are in a niche market. We deal with only HRs. You need to see where your target market is sitting at. So for us, we don't do a lot of Facebook. We don't do a lot of Instagram, because it doesn't work for us. Our target market is not sitting in Facebook and Instagram. We do more content on LinkedIn, because most of our target markets are on LinkedIn. And also we feel that our target market are sitting more in terms of website. They will search, corporate wellness Malaysia, corporate wellness. And we are ranked number 1. We are on the first page of corporate wellness. You can actually search that, corporate wellness or corporate wellness Malaysia. You search, you can see engaged staff is in the first page. And that's because we do SEO, right? We do search engine optimization. So you need to find where your target market is sitting, identify who are your target market, what kind of demographic are they at, or what kind of age group are they at, and target ads or target your marketing accordingly. And remember, marketing don't give you direct results. It don't give you, today I spend 1 million, I get 1 million back. It doesn't happen that way. Yeah, it takes time, all right? And it takes a lot of try and error when you're doing marketing. So it takes a lot of patience for you to see which is your sweet spot, right? And constantly trying different types of marketing and different types of avenue to actually build your brand. So remember, marketing is important, but also same time, you also need to build your brand as well. So because ultimately, your brand is the one people are going to be trusting, not your marketing alone, your brand. So build it concurrently. So I hope that answers your question.
Okay, another question from Dr. Nurhilwani Ismail. So as you said before, we need to establish a very good team in order to run our businesses. But we need to also consider about fresh graduates. So how do you feel about looking for talent from fresh graduate pools? Any tips from what we should avoid?
I feel that you need to have a balance of people that are experienced, and you need to have a balance of people that are in fresh grads. The talent quality is getting a bit better in terms of fresh grads. The syllabus in universities are also getting much more robust, I would say. You see, like, universities like UKM are doing entrepreneurship. Last time I didn't have a chance to even learn about entrepreneurship. I didn't know what is that. So, right? But universities are actually giving so much of opportunity. Syllabus are changing, times are changing, as well as the way we look at talents. But my number one tip in terms of hiring or getting the right people is always trust your gut, right? You need to trust your gut as well. That sometimes you don't feel like, oh, this guy giving you the good vibe. He can be the best. I had interviewed master student as well, or master's graduate as well, but it doesn't give me the vibe that, oh, this guy can actually do the job, or this guy gives me the right vibe in terms of working, right? Number one, follow your gut. Number two, hire people that are suitable towards your culture. If your culture is, let's say, very like us, our culture is very flexible. We enter work only 10 o'clock. Friday, work from home, right? And then we are actually basically like a family, right? We are very open in terms of communication. We like, we don't like, right? And we don't have like so much of hierarchy. We basically brainstorm a lot. We have an idea, we have a problem. We sit down and say, hey, guys, 1 hour, let's brainstorm. And everyone can input, right? So hire people that are suitable towards your culture. If I hire someone that is like don't want to give any ideas, right? So you need to be able to identify people that are suitable towards your culture. Because remember, culture eats strategy every single time. You can have the best strategy. Oh, I want a marketing fellow here, salesperson here, and all. But you don't hire people that are suitable towards your culture and create that culture. People that come will go. Yeah. So in terms of fresh grad, one more tips that I would do is there's so many different channels that enable you to actually hire. I hire through cable. It's like a Tinder-based swiping function where I can find fresh grad. Usually what I will do is I'll apply an internship role first with this fresh grad, maybe a 1 month internship or a 2 or 3 months internship role before I can hire full-time. And number two, if let's say, example, I cannot apply the internship role, I will have more of a task-based interview. I'll have maybe a 2-stage or 3-stage interview, but the second one may be a task-based. Let's say we want to hire a designer, we'll probably prepare even a brief and say, hey, you know what? We need you to complete this brief before tomorrow, end of the day, right? So that you can actually identify their work and see their work as well. And they can also put their work into actions as well. So give them more task-based interview rather than just, getting to know them through a just normal Q&A process. Yeah, so that's my tips for you in terms of hiring. All the best for that as well.
Okay, thank you very much. There is, I think, a final question from me before we close this particular sessions. So as a good entrepreneur, we must know when to start and how to start the business. But as good as we know how to start the business, we must know how to stop and when to stop. Since you have experience in several kind of businesses that you embarked before, so what drive your decisions in terms of stop that particular business or not continue anymore and find another opportunity?
Oh my God, that is a hard question to answer. I mean, like for me, I would never want to stop. I mean, to be really honest, but sometimes if you have a similar trend, you need to identify. I usually use 2 years as a benchmark. If 2 years or 2.5 years, you cannot transform a business, you cannot take it to a level that you are satisfied with, you need to either, number one, find other people that are able to help you, or find a co-founder. Don't worry about shares. Give them some shares, get them to come in, but they need to have the same mindset as you. Number one, get someone to help you. If you can't, You need to find a way how to move on. In a way for you how to move on is very difficult at the start. You either can sell the business or, you know, just close down the business. But before you do that, you got to remind yourself, is this something that I want to do for the rest of my life? If it's yes, if it's still yes, and it's 2.5 years down the lane, don't worry about it. You can still find something that is similar, but maybe it's not this for you right now. Because why? If you continue on, you will be an entrepreneur that is diluted, and you will not listen to anyone. You will not be able to do any sorts of improvement in your life. So you need to know a limit. You need to know a cutoff time. And usually I use 2.5 years or 2 years as a cutoff time. If I cannot transform the business or I cannot make the business successful, and you define success yourself. What is success to you? Okay. And let's say, example, making 100,000 a year is a success for you. Define that first. So define your success, identify, begin with the end in mind, where you want to end, so that you know, okay, this is the end line and how far are you away, and make that decision. It's a tough decision, but you have to make it. I usually use 2 and 2.5 years as a benchmark, and I use sales as a very huge benchmark. If I cannot sell this product, probably, you know, I can get someone else, or it's not a market fit. It doesn't have a market for it. I should find something that I have similar passion and interest, and kind of change or do something else. So that's my advice. It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
So that's all from Mr. Paresh. So it's a very wonderful session. I hope all of the potential entrepreneur that attending this particular session will have some sort of idea in order for them to pursue in entrepreneurial life afterwards. So thank you so much. So hopefully we're going to end this particular session. Thank you so much.